What is it about Lubbock, Texas that keeps people staying here? And why are so many families like you deciding to move to Lubbock, Texas? Well, today in this video, I'm going to share with you 11 reasons as to why not only myself, but also my fellow Lubbockites decide to live here in Lubbock, Texas, rather than live anywhere else in the state of Texas. And we're going to get after it right now. Hey, I'm Sam Riddle, your Lubbock local real estate expert. And the first point that I'm going to talk about today is how close we are. And that is a tight-knit community. When you move to Lubbock, you really are joining one big family. Everybody seems to know somebody that you may know or that you run into, or you might just be lucky enough to run into somebody at the bar or run into somebody at a restaurant or run into somebody at the grocery store that you've never met before. And they will personally probably invite you to hang out. Maybe your kids can hang out together. You can go to the park, have a drink, go out downtown. I mean, people here are so friendly. And so I think that's why we have such a tight-knit community, is we try to be friendly for the most part to everybody that lives here in Lubbock, Texas, because let's face it, we are in West Texas. There is not a ton to do within, 2-hour driving radius. And so we all have to hang out with each other. We go to football games with each other. We go to backyard barbecues with each other. Our kids go to the same school. So really, we embody and embrace that closeness. So if you're looking for a tight-knit community, Lubbock is one community that you will love. So not only do we have a tight-knit community, but my second favorite reason why most people here in Lubbock also like to live in Lubbock is because of the affordability. Now, I talk about the affordability quite often, and you see a lot of the home tours that I tour are pretty impressive for the price. And so if you are just tired of worrying about a mortgage and you want to be in a larger home with less of a mortgage than maybe from the other neighboring cities of Texas or states of Texas, well then come on over to Lubbock, because the affordability, not only in housing, but groceries, electricity, everyday essentials, is going to be lower than where you are coming from. Most often, I guess I should say that. It should be more often than not lower than where you're coming from. And that's why you're choosing to come to Lubbock, because of the affordability. You see that fantastic house online and it's your dream home for half the price. Now, of course, those two things that I've just mentioned are definitely a plus if you're moving to Lubbock, Texas, but also too, another perk that I love about living in Lubbock is I feel very safe and have a very family-friendly environment here in Lubbock. There are a lot of neighborhoods, especially that are geared towards family-friendly or close to an elementary or middle or high school, that do feel very safe. And not only because, yes, it has lower crime stats, but also too, your neighbors, going back to everybody is very friendly, your neighbors are going to come and introduce themselves. They're going to be very friendly to you. They're going to be excited that you move in, especially if you have kids, because almost all the neighborhoods, especially the one that I'm in right now, you are going to be able to see friends and family gather out front, kids running around at the park behind me. And so I just think that adds a little layer of extra security, having your neighbor watch out for you, watch your house when you're gone, watch your dogs when you're gone, hang out with your kids, with their kids, just literally in full compass embodies the suburban lifestyle in a suburbia, but also being in a very wide open, spacious town. Now, of course, safety is a big reason for a lot of families moving to Lubbock, but another thing that I love about Lubbock is the education here in Lubbock. So not only do we have Texas Tech, Wreckham, Texas Tech is in the Big 12. So if you're not a Big 12 football fan, well, you're about to be, because Lubbock is definitely a town for the Red Raiders. And maybe not football, basketball, baseball. Our softball team is in the College World Series or College Series right now, which is the first time ever, which is huge. So we love our Red Raiders. Men, women, sports, they are a pillar in not only sports, but also the education at Texas Tech. I went to Texas Tech, I graduated from Tech. They come to Tech for their programs in agriculture and architecture, and also too, they have a great engineering program, the law school here. So there's a lot of reasons why people are coming to Tech to attend the university. Not only that, Also, going back to our public and private education here in Lubbock, I did a video on our schooling here in Lubbock, so if you haven't watched that, check it out. But I really do love our public school education here. And if you are from somewhere where maybe public school just isn't the thing to do and you have to go to private school to get a good education, well, that's definitely not the case here. Our public schools are very highly ranked, very highly desirable here in Lubbock. The Friendship ISD and the Cooper ISD are both amazing school opportunities, but also too all along the outskirts of Lubbock. So you have the Shallowater, New Home, Idalou, Ropesville, all of those little towns around Lubbock. People love to send their kiddos to the schools over in the smaller towns, just because you get more one-on-one attention. The schools are great, and you're not having to deal with maybe a 12-to-1 student-teacher ratio. So schooling is important, and having a good educational curriculum is important to you, well, that's one reason why I love Lubbock, and that might be another reason why you love Lubbock too. So check out this video, and also too, do your research on schools, and you'll see why a lot of these schools are highly sought after. So I kind of just touched on the next point a minute ago, but yes, education is awesome here in Lubbock, but we have an extremely vibrant sports culture here in Lubbock, and it is so much fun. I think one of the reasons why people love living here, obviously the vibrant sports culture, but that is the pillar of living in Lubbock, Texas, when it comes to extracurricular activities in the fall. The second it becomes football season here, you're going to see flags everywhere, Red Raider flags everywhere. I mean, it is so much fun. The town truly comes alive, especially over by campus. There is flags everywhere. People are all over campus, all at the bars, all at the shops. So it is so much fun, because we really do have some great sports teams. Now, football may not be the prominent one here in Lubbock. Of course, it's the one that everybody loves to go to because it's super fun to attend. But we have some great women's sports, like I just mentioned, softball and basketball. And so if you are a sports fan and love to go to fun college sporting events, Lubbock would be so much fun for you. So other than the sports culture here in Lubbock, another fun thing that we love to do here in Lubbock is gather around and hang out at the art districts and local farmers markets. So that brings me to my next point, and that is the love of local festivities and local events. There are tons of local events happening all around Lubbock that you may not be aware of if you're not really plugged into that community. And so that's why I think most people think that there's not a lot to do, because they don't know where to look. So if you know where to look, you know what Facebook groups, you know what websites to look at, what activities is going on during that weekend, there is always something to do. It just depends on what you're interested in. If you want to be inside, outside, there's different types of things for you. If you want to be on a weekend versus a weekday, there's the farmers markets on Tuesdays at the wineries, or there's farmers markets on the Saturdays. They just opened up the downtown farmers market, and then Mo Productions hosts a huge monthly event downtown as well. So at the ballet studio here in Lubbock, at the performing arts studio, there's a huge performing arts downtown area. So there's always a show going on. There's always maybe a comedian coming here. There's always Broadway musicals coming to Lubbock. So depending on what you're into, there is going to be something for you to do. And that's another thing. I think that's why we love living in Lubbock, that the locals really know what to do. But if you're not truly a local, you might get bored. So message me and we can get you connected with how to find those fun things to do here in Lubbock, Texas, or follow along here or on my Instagram, because I talk about all things fun events happening here in Lubbock. So not only are there are things to do, there are lots of events here, but we have a thriving food and wine scene here in Lubbock that most people don't know about unless you live here. So I love that about Lubbock, is the wine here is amazing. We just opened that new winery, Adolfo's. I think I'm saying that right. But they're the ones who are doing the Tuesdays farmers markets. And we have like 6 other wineries who are the lead production in most of the Texas grapes that are grown here in Texas. And then also too, we come second in comparison to Napa, which is insane. Most people don't even know that we grow so many grapes here in Lubbock. And so if you are a wine-o and you love your vino, well, we have some amazing wineries all downtown too. We have some downtown, some in South Lubbock, English Newsom, we have McPherson's downtown, and you can also do a wine tour. So that's super fun. And also all the new food scenes opening up here. We have so many yummy food restaurants here in Lubbock. We have a lot of chain. We have a lot of entrepreneur, newer, local restaurants. So we have a lot of food options depending on if you are a foodie or a wino. Then there is food and drink everywhere you look, and we cater a lot of our events to around food and drink here in Lubbock. So this brings me to one of my favorite things about Lubbock, and I think almost everybody here would agree. And besides all the things to do, besides places to eat, Texas Tech, all the things, the sunsets are out of this world. So we have some of the most beautiful sunsets you're ever going to see. They are awesome. And so if you love to just sit outside on your back patio, enjoy some wine from a local winery, pick up some food from a local shop here in town, sit on your back patio, or go to a park like this and just sit on a blanket or whatever and look up at the sunset, especially in the summertime because the sunset's late. You're gonna have purple, pink skies. It's gonna be so pretty. The kids are gonna be running around everywhere. It's just kind of like, literally, I said this before, but it's like a scene out of a movie almost, especially in this neighborhood that I'm in. This is like little Stars Hollow, if you are familiar with Gilmore Girls, or Hallmark movies in Christmas time. This is it. And so not only to have neighborhoods like this, but just the sunsets and the skies to go along with that and match that vibe. It is so pretty. And when you come and visit, you're going to know what I'm talking about, because I promise you at least one day you're here, unless you just pick the worst days to come, which you might not, but you're going to have one of the most prettiest sunsets you've ever seen. I feel like I keep saying this is my favorite thing about Lubbock with each point I'm saying, because honestly, these are all things that I couldn't not talk about. But another reason why I love and we love Lubbock is the ease of communication. The ease of communication here is literally so easy. And that was a client the other day, and he was like joking around with his wife. They were asking, hey, how far away is this house, or how far away is this restaurant? And it's like, oh, just 15 minutes. Oh, just 15 minutes. And anything in here is 10 to 15 minutes. No matter where you go in Lubbock, I'll meet you at a house. Okay, hey, I'll be there in 10 to 15 minutes. Anywhere you want to go, it's 10 to 15 minutes, unless you get stuck behind all of the new construction that's happening from Loop 88 and also off of Upland and 82nd, 98. There's a lot going on kind of in some pockets of town. But as Lubbock grows, of course, there's going to be a little bit more congestion. But just tack on, another 4 minutes. Maybe you'll get a light, maybe you'll be lucky, depending on the time of day. But realistically, it really is super easy to get around town. And not a lot of people realize this, but when you come to Lubbock, the streets it's a grid. And so everything that is going north to south is going to be numerical. And as the more south you go, the higher the number goes. And the more north you go, the lower the number goes. And then also too, east and west is going to be alphabetically, for the most part, in line with the alphabet. So A, you're going to be closest to the east side, and then all the way to Z, you're going to be closest to the west side. Fun little geographic lesson there about Lubbock. So the ease of communication is awesome. Brings me to one of my real estate points here in Lubbock, and I think another reason why you may be watching this video is because we do have a very strong real estate market. Now that comes from also owner-occupant to investor-heavy rental opportunities. So if you are looking to invest in Lubbock, which a lot of you may be, because you understand the market here, or you've seen the home prices and you're thinking, hey, I can rent that out and I can hold on to it, or the opportunities for duplexes, whatever it may be, it is there. We have a very slow, I wouldn't say slow, very slow, I would say we have a very steady appreciation year over year with the real estate market. And that's to single family homes all the way to rentals. So regardless of what you're looking for, if you buy correctly and you buy in an area that is growing, you should see appreciation year over year. And so if your long-term goal is to own a few different properties here in Lubbock, or you want to move here and then build your rental portfolio, or you just see the opportunity to live in a house for 5 years and then sell it and move into your dream home, that can be your reality here in Lubbock. And so my last point of why people love living in Lubbock, why I love living in Lubbock, is due to the job growth potential here. So if you are specifically looking for a job in healthcare, medical, agriculture, farming, technology, or you want to start your own gig, well, Lubbock is the place for you. We have so many opportunities, so many job options for you to do that. And not to mention a lot of the unique jobs here in Lubbock. There are a ton of unique remote jobs that people do or start that are built here in Lubbock that you just would never even think about. Also, education plays a huge job market here in Lubbock, of course, with Texas Tech and all of the schooling, public and private schools that we have here. We have a lot of professors come to Tech. So if you are a professor and you're coming to Texas Tech, well, hey, welcome. Now, if any of these 11 reasons spark your interest or maybe even further solidify your move to Lubbock, Texas, well then, hey, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email right here or at the link in my bio, schedule a Zoom call. And I'd love the opportunity to meet you and your family, help you make that smooth transition into the Lubbock area. And with my local knowledge about all things to do and with the real estate market, where to purchase, what to look for when buying your next home, I promise that we can definitely make your move to Lubbock, Texas an easy, smooth ride for you. And if you're still curious about Lubbock, check out one of these videos too, because I talk all about Lubbock neighborhoods, all about the places to look in, to not look in, or depending on what your needs are. You may find a fit for everything. And until next time, we'll see you around.